Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates.
Hello and welcome back to Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates, here for all your legal and real estate needs. I'm here with Mr. Schinhofen, running for District 5 Commissioner on the South Side, and we were talking about economical development. And I was at your commissioner meeting with the what they were going to do for the water for this racetrack expansion. I had to leave about an hour previous to the decision. So fill me in a little bit. What happened there?
The board decided not to take the utility. It was a $4.5 million utility. They were going to go ahead and spend extra money and put it on the fairgrounds. Some of the board had a concern of what it was going to cost to run the utility, that it was going to be too expensive to run, and we were going to get stuck with a white elephant. And so 3 of them voted against taking it. Previously, we had passed a resolution that said we would take it. But when it came to it, there were some issues with that they wanted answered, and they didn't get those answers at that time, and the raceway needed an answer to move forward. The idea was we were going to save them about 9 months of time by the county taking it. And for me, my example would have been, somebody wants to give you a fully loaded Mercedes-Benz, and you say, well, I may not be able to afford the insurance, and it costs a lot to change oil, so never mind. Instead of, well, thank you very much, and now, well, I can't afford the insurance, so I'll sell this thing and buy a Toyota.
Right.
We would have had something to bargain with UICN.
You know, and I don't claim to be an expert on the subject at all, but I was really shocked when I did hear that we did not take it. I figured that was, I mean, somebody's trying to give you a gift like that. Yeah. To me, it seemed like a no-brainer, but... Well,
some of the people in town were concerned that one of them was running against me in the primary, and he kept saying, well, the commissioners they'll just raise your rates whenever they want. Well, we only had that area, so it would only be on those people. Now, when UICN wants to raise your rates, they go to the PUC, and you have to go down to Las Vegas to a PUC hearing. If we owned it and we wanted to raise your rates, it would be right here in the county commission chambers, right here, local control, local. You would get to vote in the people who own that utility, like if we owned it, as opposed to you have UICN own it.
So it didn't go, so they decided not to do it on the racetrack, but it actually went to Utilities Inc., is that correct?
Yeah, it is now going to be built on the racetrack, not on the fairgrounds, so now we don't get the effluent water for the fairgrounds. I am working to see if we can buy capacity in that system so we have future water for the fairgrounds, and effluent mostly, and it will be built on the raceway instead of the fairgrounds.
But it will be handled by Utilities Inc.?
And it's all going to be Utilities Inc.
Interesting.
So.
Yeah, no, I was, like I said, I don't claim to be an expert, but to me it just didn't seem to make sense. But anyhow, we'll move on from that. Let's talk about the dissolving of the town board. Okay. That is supposed to happen at the end of the year, correct?
Yep.
I know there's some concerns about the fire department, the sheriff's department, the park employees.
Oh, yeah.
Give me your insight.
My insights, we have decided that the staff, our county staff, needs to work with the town staff to see how best this is going to be run. It's not a money grab, as some have said. The commissioners put this on the ballot knowing it would pass, so we could take the town's money. The money that you pay in property tax goes to the town and stays in the town, so there's not going to be any money that's going to be taken from here to go to Tonopah. As far as employees, there may be a few who are going to be duplicative that might lose their jobs, but we don't know yet. The staff is working that out. As far as the fire department, I heard somebody else tell me that they heard we were going to fire the fire department day one.
Yes, I have heard that same rumor.
If my daughter's house catches on fire, that would be really stupid on day 2. So, no, that's not going to happen. I think that some of our board thinks that, I know what I think. I think that they could make better use of volunteers. I don't think we need that many paid firemen. Fallon has a volunteer department. They have a better fire rating than we do. So, and that doesn't take away from the guys who do that job. It's a tough job. They've been called out to my house and business before, and they were very professional. They did a great job. But we'd just like to look into the possibility. Maybe the ambulance, maybe go out to bid on that. Maybe we can get it less expensive if it's run by a private company as opposed to the town running it and having their own paid guys do it.
Right.
So nothing's going to change instantly. There's,
Well, I
so-
know the sheriff's department, everybody knows it's no secret, has went over budget.
No.
Is that something you think with the commissioners taking over, they can take a closer look at and try to figure out why that's happening? And
With the sheriff's department or the fire department?
With the sheriff's department.
The sheriff's department. We have been looking at that, and I think that's going to be depending on who our new sheriff is and how they decide to budget their money. Again, you elect a sheriff, just like I get to vote for sheriff.
Right.
We fund their budget, but we can't run their department. We can't tell them how many officers should be on patrol or how many should be whatever. So that is really going to be up to, you're going to want a good manager in there for sheriff.
For sure. And I know, like I said, the townspeople, I've heard some of them that are concerned they're going to lose their jobs. And I can't imagine like Matt Lewis have a pretty good relationship with Matt. I mean, just a fabulous guy that just does a great job.
He's a great guy. He has enough staff to do his thing now. We are short on staff in our buildings and grounds, so I can't see us cutting people.
Cutting people, exactly.
Because we're short on our side. Maybe we could try to get them to help with our guys.
Right. You never know. They might.
And I
be
don't
able
know.
to.
So I don't see any of that happening. And again, I'm not saying anybody is going to lose their jobs, but if there is, it might be just a few who are duplicative.
Duplicative, yep. Nope, makes sense. We might have to cut you off here in the middle of this one, depending on our commercial break.
Okay.
But I've heard that there was a lot of people laid off in Beatty, Amargosa, as far as fire department goes, dispatchers and stuff like that. Is that something that...
Yeah, not fire department.
Okay.
The dispatch, we did centralized dispatch. This is something that was put forward by the sheriff in 2006. He tried to bring about in 2008. Those boards at that time weren't interested. And when I got in office in 2010, I started pushing for that. Let's centralize dispatch. Can we do it? And so it's taken a number of years to get there. And yes, we have lost some. Some of those people in Tonopah and Beatty took other jobs in the county. Some of them retired out.
Right.
But some of them did lose their job.
Let's get back to that because I've had a couple of people issue concerns with that I want to ask you about. Good. But we'll be right back here with Court Reporter.
Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates.